And it's live. Hey guys, Gogsy here, and welcome back to the second edition of Pass the Mic. Today, we've been joined by Stefan as we were going to be talking through the Dundee RAITH Rovers second leg of the Premiership playoff semi-final, where Dundee won the first leg 3-0. So we're going to see if RAITH Rovers can overturn a 3-goal deficit, or will it just finish however many to Dundee, because it seemed to be a bit of a rogering on Wednesday night during the 7-game thriller of a stream that we had. Isn't that right, Stefan?
It is right, mate, but I really have to question the words here. A rogering, what? Right, I'm not even going to get into that. We're what? 49 seconds into the stream and you've already said something that's bugged me. This is it's going to be a long night, but I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good game. Can't see anything but a Dundee win, but you never know. It's football and anything can surprise us, eh? Oh, don't believe it.
Yana Smith says, hello folks, see you later tonight. A spectacular comeback and penalty wins for RAITH tonight, he's saying.
Oof.
Change of plan, might need to go to hospital. Oh dear, I hope everything's all right at home. Hello Luke, hello Joseph. Joseph says hi to Stefan.
Hi Joseph.
Evening Graham, hope everything's going all right with you. No, it's just us two tonight. Stevie's had to pull out last minute. But apart from that,
no context, Stephen Reeside.
Oh dear me. But aye, so with about 10 minutes or so till kick off, we're going to run through the starting 11s. I'm going to just go through it quickly. I've had to make up for it because on Flash Scores, it's just gone alphabetical, so I've had to guess the position-wise thing. So for Dundee, in goals, they start with Lechton, then Elliott, Kerr, Ashcroft, McGee, Byrne, Anderson, Adam, McMullen, McGowan, and Cummings make up the starting 11 for Dundee. For RAITH Rovers, it's McDonald and goal, and Armstrong, Benedictus, Gullen, Hendry, McDonald, Matthews, Mendy, Tumulty, Ugwu, and Vaughan. What's the score prediction tonight, Stefan, if you had to give one?
I think Dundee will win. I'm going to say 2-0. I think they'll be too strong for RAITH Rovers. So yeah, I'm gonna have to rule it out for RAITH. But yeah, 2-0 Dundee.
Yeah, as we discussed off camera before we came on, I said it'd be a goal in each half and a comfortable Dundee victory. As RAITH Rovers are shipping goals for fun at the moment, they've conceded 7 in the last 2 games. It's not a very good look for them, and Dundee have won the last 3 on the spin. All right, Hibs Fan TV, how's it going, mate? Yeah. Graham Caldwell says, did any of you watch the FA Cup final? I did not. I don't waste my time with shite football.
Yeah, I seen the goal from Yuri Talisman. It was a corker of a finish, to use the words that Adam would use. It was class, and a little bit of controversy with the Chelsea goal that was ruled out. But good to see Brendan win the FA Cup with Leicester.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it gives us something different, because was it like how long ago was it that Leicester last won the FA Cup? 52 years or something like that?
I don't know. I thought Gary Lineker said this was the first time that they'd won the FA Cup. So
it must have been like 52 years since they were in the final anyway, because I watched an FA Cup programme the other night, and I enjoyed it actually. For shite football, was decent.
I love it. We're here to slag off English football. I love it.
Absolutely. Joseph, yeah, don't need to read that comment out. You've never won it. There we go. So it's about time we had a new winner on the trophy. I mean, see when it's constantly Man United or Chelsea or Arsenal winning the FA Cup, I'm just bored of it. But when it's an underdog, like when Leicester won the Premier League, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm all for it. a lot of Celtic fans don't like the fact Leicester have probably went on to win it, but it's good to see.
It keeps the game fresh, in my opinion, having a different winner. Which is sort of why I wanted Raith Rovers up, because I've never seen Raith Rovers in the Premier League. Like, transferring back to Scottish football for a minute, because I think it was 1999 when Raith Rovers were last in the top flight of Scottish football. Obviously, that was the year I was born, so need a first for everything, eh?
Yeah, well, exactly, mate. But fairy tales don't always come through, and in this case, unless the impossible happens, I can't see it happening for a very long time.
I mean, I want the winner of this tie to go and get promoted, because, I mean, as much as I love an away day to Dingwall, I just think that Dundee or Raith Rovers, because for a sense of having something closer to me, I think it's much more accessible. Or Kilmarnock. I mean, both are bollocks of a journey for me. So if we were to just have something that was a bit closer, it's been nearly 10 years since the last time a Fife team was in the top flight. And then of course, I missed my away days to Dundee this season. So away days full stop, but Dundee in general, the last couple of years I've missed having in the top flight, so I could hit out with banter with Ross and Fraser a bit more often.
I assume you're talking about Dunfermline as the last Fife team, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to think there. I was pure racking my brain. I was like, who? Got there in the end.
Mm-hmm. All right, Calder. Notice your background is different. Well, the background is always the same for league football, but we've changed it for the cup. So, for example, we'll change the screen here. So you'll always see this background whenever it's a league game, because it's an SPFL fixture. And then when it's the Scottish Cup, we change it up, and then we've got that. And then this season, when it was the Betfred Cup, we had this in the background as well. So there you go. There's a difference in backgrounds.
I think he might be referring to the actual background of your camera shot.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Keep up, Gogs, eh?
Well, I've already been... Someone's already brought that up to me today. I'm in a different location. That's all. I've not been kidnapped or anything.
I have
in a way.
You're going to pay for that one, Sin.
Oh, definitely. It also annoys me that this. There we go.
I was going to say that was a.
Was that annoying as well?
Yeah, that was really irritating my OCD, but I didn't want to say anything.
In fact, just so it annoys you, Stefan. There you go.
Hate you. No, because that's sort of levelish. So they're both going in the same way. If it was I shouldn't have said anything.
There you go. Just to spite you, mate.
Aye, mate. I'll take that. I'll take it.
Graham Caldwell says, "Who do you both think will end up in the playoff as the Premiership team?"
County are 3 points ahead of Kilmarnock, so I'm probably going to have to say Kelly, most likely. But I hate saying this phrase, but it's football. And County go to Motherwell tomorrow. It'll be difficult, but I genuinely can't see anything but Ross County staying in 10th. As a game, I thought the game had kicked off there. I seen players running. I was like, it's Hamilton.
They're just coming out, aren't they?
Yeah, they just came out. They're showing us replays of Hamilton coming up against Hibs in 2014.
So in my opinion, I actually think Kilmarnock will go up. Will stay up, and it'll be Ross County in the playoff, because I don't think Graham Alexander will let up in terms of Motherwell. I think Motherwell will beat Ross County. And Kilmarnock, with a superior goal difference, I think will absolutely thrash Hamilton.
Aye, well, You might have a point there, mate. You might just have a point there, but I'm going to stick to my guns because I'm not being out smarted. So I'm going to say that. I'm going to say Ross County will stay up and Kelly will be in the playoffs.
Fair game, mate. Carrots, I did not watch the FA Cup final. I didn't care enough to switch it on. Christopher Wren, is that named after the guy that played for St Mirren all those years ago? Is Cummings playing? Yes, Cummings is in the starting 11. Adam Beanie Smith says, Gogsy, what situation with Campbell? So, is he linked with Celtic? Don't know. And it wouldn't be on a free because there would be a development fee.
Mm.
In which I think it is £500,000. So Stoke City was the biggest club I've seen so far linked with Alan Campbell.
Assuming you've not seen Celtic actually being linked with them.
I've not seen it personally.
Okay, I was going to say, because I thought you were going to say Stoke were a bigger club than Celtic. I was like,
mate,
hold on.
Mate, see when that argument of Chris Sutton was saying Celtic reserves are bigger than Leicester.
Yeah.
Like, he's right. In my opinion, Celtic's a bigger club than Leicester.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can say the Celtic reserves are a bigger club than. Well, I suppose
part of the same club as Celtic.
Yeah, I take the point. I take the point.
I'm just trying to get this to load. That's it.
Well, Don Robertson's the referee for today's game. The players are just already on the park, and the action's about to get kicked off at Dens.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right in saying that if Dundee go to the final, it's a two-legged final?
Yes, it's a two-legged affair. It's a Thursday, Monday.
Oh, well.
John Mitchell says, Stefano, you not been in George Square today?
No, mate. Avoid it like the plague, to be honest with you. Too many pigeons crapping everywhere for my like in George Square, to be honest. So I'll stay away from it. I went and got my hair cut. I'm looking and feeling quite fresh. I didn't need any pigeon dropping landing on my head.
Superb. Hibs linked with Campbell. That can get in the bin as well. If Campbell wants to better his career and better his chances of getting into the Scotland squad, then he's got to move down south. In my opinion.
Steve Clark's coming up with his squad announcement on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing who actually announces it.
What do you mean? Who announces it? Will it not be Steve Clark?
Well, stay tuned.
All right, Goggs has got some inside information here.
I'm
just will be telling me it full time.
What exactly do I think Motherwell need to do in the summer to avoid the same thing? Well, first and foremost, I don't think the same thing is going to happen to us this season. We're not going to have the same struggle because Graham Alexander's a different manager to Stephen Robinson. I think Stephen Robinson might have got a wee bit complacent with the team that he had built over the course of 2 seasons, because he flat out said at the start of the season, this is the best crop of players I've had at this club. And that was his first of many mistakes that he made. Well, first of all, we have to find a player that can replace Alan Campbell, because he's definitely not going to be staying. We need to keep Liam Kelly at all costs. We need Louis Moult. As outlandish as that cry is, I mean, that'd be a fantastic bit of business to get him back. We also need a couple of pacey wingers that can actually go and change a game, because we've lacked that this season. Like, Jake Hastie's shite. Like, move on. Like, I genuinely don't want to see Jake Hastie in a Motherwell shirt ever again.
Oh, you were Beeling the other night with them.
like if you watch the game, Stefan, you would see like every time Jake Hasty got the ball, he'd either lose it or he'd take a shot and go over the bar.
I don't doubt I would be pretty annoyed, to be honest.
Like he was our version of Ryan Christie, but on a much smaller scale.
And not as prolific.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Love
it. Also, I would say we need a couple of centre halves. Like, I mean, Declan Gallagher was great in his first season at Motherwell, but he's very, very substandard this year. And he's got to move to a bigger club, of course, in Aberdeen. I'm not going to shy away from that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But also, we need a right back to back up Stephen O'Donnell. I mean, I can go through every position and just say we need this, we need that, but I'm not the chief scout at the end of the day.
You're just the chief, eh?
That's right, man. Campbell link to Celtic is not official. I was listening to a Scottish football podcast in midweek, and a Celtic fan was suggesting they should be looking at young Scottish talent. Is that more talent to stockpile and then send out on loan, or is it actually to put in the first team? Because genuinely, I think Campbell would be a great replacement for Scott Brown.
It's an interesting one, I have to say. I've yet to hear any Celtic fan really saying that they would take Alan Campbell, bar my good self, because I would take Alan Campbell. But a lot of people I've seen have been talking about how they would prefer Lewis Ferguson, to be honest. But see if Celtic could get both, I'd be quite chuffed. This is probably not going to happen, but I really would like Campbell. I think because I think he's a good wee player, and he wouldn't be bad to have as a backup to Sorrell, because I think Sorrell will be the main man to take over Brown. But I wouldn't be opposed to having Campbell in the squad because he's a great player.
I will also say this though. See before all the debacle about David Turnbull's injury stopping his move to Celtic, there was a lot of noise from Celtic fans saying, "Oh, we don't need him anyway," etc., etc. And
I was one of them.
Yeah, there you go.
I look at this kid getting a big move to Celtic, and then all of a sudden he gets injured. Glass knee, absolutely terrible. Then I get informed by someone, not going to say who. Let's just say they knew the kid well, and I've never been more happy to be proved wrong, because he's world class, or will be world class one day.
Yeah. Joseph, there will be a live stream on Tuesday. We're going to be doing I've not spoken to anyone in the chat yet, but I'm planning on doing a tier list stream, interactive with the viewers, on who we all think should be in the final 26 of the squad, because I think that would be quite fun to do. David Young says loads of players available in England. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. A lot of clubs this year didn't want to make a risk in offering too long a contract to any player. So that's why there's a lot of players out of contract coming the end of the season, and there will be a lot of moves being made. It's going to be the busiest transfer window you'll ever see, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that too. Jamie McDonald's made a needless save there. The ball was going miles wide, and he's managed to just get his hands on it. That's it's not great, especially if Dundee score from this.
I'm still trying to get on this.
It's been a good game.
I have got it now. What minute are you in?
The 7th.
Yeah, I'm on 7:17.
Okay, I'm on 7:10.
There we go. Yeah, I've got a free kick for Dundee here with Paul McGowan swing it in.
Yeah, that's what I've got now.
Yara says might not be on long. Gogsy, think I'm going to the. Okay, well, I hope you're all right, mate. I hope you don't have the virus.
Yeah, me too. Obviously.
Aye.
Oh, the free kick's just coming in for me.
And it's just stopped for me again. And there we go.
Tell you what, see if Wraith get the first goal here, I wouldn't write them off because they have been the better side, I think.
I'll say now, like, what we're needing to make it an interesting encounter is Wraith to score in the first 15 minutes or so, just to put the cat amongst the pigeons and perhaps actually spark a good contest. David Young's, Regan Hendry must be decent because he won the Player of the Year for his club and he's been nominated for Player of the Year in the Championship. Now, I would love to take Regan Hendry, and in fact, it's a must that we go for him. Because in the same sort of player as Liam Polworth, in my opinion, I think he, from Motherwell, trying to draw a similar comparison, I think Regan Hendry would do really well to replace Liam Polworth, who's not kicked a ball for us since he got sent off at Pittodrie.
Did Regan Hendry not used to play for Celtic, or was he in the reserves?
He played for the reserves of Celtic.
Okay, no, that's fine. I knew I recognised the name somewhere.
I mean, he, like, in my opinion, he'll end up going to a team like St Johnstone or maybe St Mirren. But if Motherwell miss out on him, it's a big missed opportunity.
Yeah, especially with Gallagher, obviously. Gone. Wraith playing some nice football here, mate. Just in the edge of the box, swings a ball in, but it's cleared away. They pick it up again. It's been interesting to see what they can do.
You'll have to beat Hibs for Regan Hendry because they seem to buy every player that does well in the Championship or League One. Not just that, in the lower Scottish Premiership as well. I mean, they've got so many players that started off at, say, St Mirren, for example, Kyle McGuinness.
Did they know that guy that now plays for Aston Villa? I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name either.
They always tell us about him, but it's went right out of my head. His brother plays there. His other brother played there.
Yeah, Hibs seem to claim assist for every goal he scores in the national team as well.
I know, it's mental.
Hey.
Oh, Adam's on tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh,
I was on Wednesday. People were saying, "Oh, Stephanie's a bit of a wido, isn't he?" They were wondering what was going on. I can't explain it. If you see the abuse that I've given the boys over the last couple of days in the chat, you would know that it's not just on a day I'm a wido. I'm a wido every
day. Regan Hendry is a massive Hibs fan, supposedly, on the list of players Hibs are after. Wouldn't mind him. What do you think of the interest shown in Hickey and Nisbet by Celtic, Stefan?
Hickey's a bit of an odd one for me, but in terms of I didn't expect Celtic going for a guy that was at Hearts that now plays for Bologna, but it's obviously he's been injured, I think. But Celtic don't have a great left back, Greg Taylor, I don't think he's done much wrong, but I don't think he's a fit for the left back position. Laxalt, obviously he's gone back to Milan, and I think the only other one we have is Montgomery, who didn't put a foot wrong the other night. So would I take him if he was all that Celtic could get? Yeah, of course I would, because I think he's a good wee player. But for me, ideally, I want Josh Doig. And as for Nisbet, as a replacement to Odsonne Edouard, it's not for me. I think he's a good wee player again, but I don't know. I really don't know. I would probably have to see how he does. But for me, I think the replacement for Edouard is already a Yeti, so just need to wait and see.
Thing is, for me, I've not noticed much about Josh Doig. Like, I've watched countless Hibs matches this season. I literally never notice the fullbacks in any game I watch unless they're having a bad game. So I can't give an opinion on such as Josh Doig, other than the fact I signed him on loan for a team called Levadia Tallinn in Football Manager 20 when I was doing a journeyman save, but that's by the by.
No, I think he's been one that's really stood out for me. So yeah, no, I would have to take a gamble on him because I think he's a great replayer.
Interesting stuff. But of course, I will be doing a transfer video in the coming weeks when the season sort of died down. I mean, our last domestic stream will be a week on Monday, in which it will be the winner of this tie facing whoever finishes 11th in the Scottish Premiership, either Kilmarnock or Ross County. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we start all the transfer rumours and stuff like that.
I'm looking forward to all the transfer rumours. Can't wait till the inevitable Paddy Roberts to Celtic rumour starts again.
And the inevitable Louis Moult to Motherwell on a 6-month deal or something stupid.
I've seen Graham Alexander obviously speaking about Louis Moult, and it's one for me. Would you genuinely be surprised if he came back? Because the way Graham Alexander said, he clearly liked the guy, or likes the guy. So it'd be interesting to see.
I'll answer this quickly after I've mentioned this. Wee chance Dundee had swung into the box, and the guy was free on his own, and he's
I don't know how he's missed that, mate.
Was that?
I don't know how he's missed that.
I mean, if he had any sort of composure, it'd be a goal.
Oh, and RAITH Rovers had a chance there to make it 1-0. That's a team effort, though.
Mm-hmm. But I would be surprised if we got Louis Moult back. Louis Moult moved down south only because of his family. Like, he genuinely said that he loves the club so much that he would love to come back one day, but it's all down to his family. And there's rumours that Wrexham are wanting him, and the amount of money Wrexham are going to get plugged into the club because of a certain Hollywood movie star owning the club now. I can only see him going there. But there's also clubs in like League One that are up for him, because it's a sort of typical downward step for Louis Moult to move to a League One club, considering he's never really cut it in the English Championship, unfortunately, due to his injuries. So it would only make sense for me if he went to a team in the English League One, if he's got any ambition. But if he wants to come back to Motherwell, absolutely, I'd bite your hand off for him.
I would love to see Louis Moult back at Motherwell personally, because I think he was a great player for them. Scored some important goals. I think he scored against Celtic, did he not?
Yeah, he scored a few goals against Celtic in his time.
Yeah, won at Hamden against Rangers. He was a key.
Two at Hamden against Rangers.
He was a key prolific player for Motherwell. So I think it could only be good news to see him back. But if he is a family-orientated guy and he went back for his family, then obviously that makes it a little bit difficult. But it's a move I wouldn't like to rule out. But with that said, with his family, I think it'll be a hard one to try and get over the line.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd absolutely take him. But like, a lot of people never can, like, for a player to move to a different country, like, a lot of people don't ever like take into account, like, he's basically moving his life to a different country. Like, even if it's from England to Scotland, and that is a big move to be making, and people never really take that into account. That he's got a family, he's got this, he's got that. I mean, we've got the likes of Devante Cole, who I don't think is really settled either, because he's been moving all his life, and he may not have as many life commitments as such as Louis Moult may have.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you now, if we had a front three next season of Tony Watt, Louis Moult, and Devante Cole,
Devante goal.
Yeah, third place will be ours if
Aye.
if this is to come of it, because I genuinely think that is a strike force that would definitely cause a lot of upset in amongst opposition defences. I mean, a lot of people don't see the goals that Tony Watt scores, but he also creates a lot of hassle for the opposition, and that is something that's priceless.
Tony Watt's a great wee player, and I'm so happy he's found his place at Motherwell, because he was a player for a long time that went to different clubs. That's unlucky from RAITH ROVERS there. He's been around the block a fair bit, Charlton, etc. So it's good to see he's kind of found his home at Motherwell, because he is a good wee player, and one that Motherwell, I think it's a mutual sort of benefit for them both to have each other.
Absolutely. And of course, Hibs Fan TV saying Nisbet, Doidge, and Boyle is greater than such, but
Nisbet, Doidge, and Boyle.
Well,
I see his point. I think it'd be.
I think it'd be on par, to be honest.
Yeah, so do I.
Yes, you've got two internationalists in the Hibs front three, but like it's difficult for an Englishman to be getting a call up to an international squad when they're playing in the English Championship.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So there we go. And of course, Devante Cole's an internationalist, plays for Jamaica.
Is it? Oh no, I'm not even going to say it.
What were you going to say?
I was going to make a Jamaican pun and say like Jamaican lots of goals or something, but
no. I think he's Jamaican anyway. Well, he's got Jamaican descendants.
I'll leave it.
We'll leave it at that. Has Tony Watt scored a lot of? He's not. Tony Watt may be on about 6 goals this season, I think. Reckon that front three you've said there would definitely be very good for you. Don't think Nisbet and Boyle will even be here next season. I hope not.
Boyle's a player I'd have taken at Celtic with James Forrest been out injured, but probably not now.
He'd have been a superstar at Celtic, I'll say that.
Yeah, I think so. He's a good wee player. Very prone to falling over, but a good wee player.
Well, that doesn't make much of a difference at Celtic.
I have to remember Scott Brown and Cedric Kipre. Oh,
Right.
Good times.
Oh, it's a goal for RAITH ROVERS.
What a goal as well.
Pick that out. Louis Vaughan has pulled one back for the Fifers.
Well, you said RAITH would have to score in the first 15 minutes. They didn't, but it's now could be looking like a very interesting game.
That's a fantastic finish on the turn.
Yeah. He's got a lot of work to do there. Poor goalkeeping in fairness as well.
The keeper was at quite in no man's land.
Yeah. He's left himself far too open on that left or right hand side. I can't. It's my right, but it'll be his left.
Absolutely.
Well, if RAITH ROVERS get another goal, you are thinking now then we have a game on our hands. But I'm sad to announce that's my prediction out the window.
So it is for me as well. But I mean, I'd much rather see this game go all the way to extra time and penalties than be right, because I actually want a good spectacle.
Aye, 100%, mate. Oh my god, I'm pure up for this now.
Ooh, I'm up for this game now. Like, now it's got to go in the first 25 minutes. We've got a lot of chance there for RAITH ROVERS.
You're just seconds in front of me. I thought that was in there. I'm not gonna lie. That is tight. Yeah.
RAITH have played some good football. They have indeed. Louis Vaughan is also a decent striker. Yeah, he's definitely one I would take at Motherwell. because he's prolific. I mean, he scored a hat-trick against the Dunfermline. Might have been a season back.
See that chance there, Gogsy? Would he have been better going with his other foot?
He'd have been better off firing it low and hard across goal.
I could have been better with his other foot. He might have had a chance at scoring. He's went, I think, with his weaker foot there.
Well, for me, that's not a position where you can score from, being realistic. So I'd just look to batter that across goal and hope for the best.
Oh, I'm up for this now. This looks to be an intriguing contest.
Indeed.
Do you see Dens Park? See, when you look at it, it's not the most modern of football stadiums. Is that one thing that? Oh, good Dave. Is that one thing that sort of bothers you about Scottish football? Is the knicker stadiums that come into the top flight?
A lot of things that fans base their club upon is tradition. I actually like, as much as Fraz will tell you it's a shithole, because he's the first one to admit Dens Park is not the fanciest of grounds, but I genuinely enjoy going there.
I've only been a couple of times, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's the main stand mainly that I'm not a fan of.
I hate the main stand.
It's hideous looking, to be honest.
Yeah, like if you sit at the very back of the seats at the main stand, you can't even see the far end of the pitch.
Yeah. It's brutal. I remember being in the main stand, and I had like a big beam in my way, and I know that's look at that Celtic fan saying his view was obstructed. I get it, but it wasn't great.
If Dundee score 1, then that's it. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't agree with that, to be fair.
We'll see. It depends when Dundee score that goal, if it does happen.
Yeah, right now it's all RAITH ROVERS.
RAITH are just chucking the kitchen sink at it. If RAITH can get another before the hour mark, then it will make for a tense last half hour. Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. Dundee is a good day trip. I agree. There's plenty of pubs around the grounds of Dundee and Dundee United, so I say it's a free for all. That is an interesting one. I like Dundee more than United. More atmosphere at Dens.
Nah, I'm going to disagree with that.
That is a hot take, John. I mean, I don't like I don't really like Tannadice. I mean, yeah, it's a better ground than Dens, and it's also a much better view for an away fan, because whenever I'm in the Fair Play Upper, that's literally running alongside the pitch. You don't actually get that elsewhere in the top flight. So it is a very good view, but I just genuinely think the atmosphere is shocking at Tannadice. Unless it's a Dundee derby.
Or it's a Dundee United Rangers or Dundee United Celtic game, then it's...
Which I haven't been to, so...
Yeah, well, true, but if you've ever seen it in the telly, you can always hear it, but aye. That ball was at play. He's unlucky there.
Stefan Joseph is saying that you should go to Dundee for a night out.
Nope. The last time I stepped foot in Dundee was the last time I said I would step foot in Dundee, so yeah, no.
What happened?
I just don't like Dundee, mate. It's just not a city I really like. I can go. I like Edinburgh. I like the look of it anyway.
I hate Edinburgh.
I wouldn't like to work or stay in it, but it's all right to have a drink in. Same with Aberdeen, same with Motherwell. I know Motherwell's not really a city, it's a town, but you get my drift. Dundee just isn't somewhere that I like to go. Like, once I'm in, I'm always looking for, right, when am I coming back out? Because it's not one of the fanciest cities in Scotland, to be honest. So, no.
It doesn't have to be fancy, mate.
Oh, he's slipped there, but he's been built out. No, I know it doesn't have to be, but just for me, it's it's just not a city I quite want to frequent.
What's your opinion on Fir Park, Gogsy? Do you like the way it is? I've had this chat with Stevie before. Stevie hates Fir Park. I love it because of just the way it is and the character it's got. I mean, yes, we've got a 75% completed stand. That's just the way it is.
I would ask you about that, but I'll wait for now. I'll let you
I mean, we give our biggest stand to the away support, which hardly ever gets filled unless it's one of the big 5 teams. I genuinely don't have any complaints about Fir Park. Maybe that's just because, like, I don't have the pleasure of actually living in the area of my home team, but it's just I just appreciate Fir Park for the way it is.
I like Fir Park. It's one of the nicer stadiums I've been to in Scottish football. You know, okay, the aspect to give the biggest stand to the away support is a bit strange, but it's always one that gets filled out, as you said, by like the Glasgow teams are Edinburgh, Aberdeen, Hibs, Hearts, and Aberdeen. But you know, I don't have a problem with it. It's sort of it's that old, but it's kind of gold. I like it. The only thing I think you have to fix is the stadium announcer, because my God, he hurts my head. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll tell Philip Speedy that.
No, I meant the sound system, not the announcer. I meant the sound system. That's one thing that I would fix. Is what I meant.
What do I hate about Edinburgh? Genuinely interested. Both born in the city, work in the city, which obviously makes me biased. It's expensive. Like, as a Fifer, I don't like to part with my cash, and a night out in Edinburgh is twice as expensive as a night out in Glasgow. And I mean, I've been in nights out in Dundee. I've been in nights out in Glasgow. I've had much better experience in Dundee and Glasgow than I have in Edinburgh.
I think you make the great point.
Also, one time when I was in Edinburgh, I was trying to find a pub for the Scotland-Albania game in which we won 4-0. What did they have on instead? Fucking rugby. England versus Ireland. And I'm like, Scotland aren't even playing rugby. And you choose to put the rugby on for fucking Six Nations instead of fucking Scottish national football team.
How Edinburgh is that? But
it is the most Edinburgh thing.
You made a great point, mate. It is expensive, but see, for me, it's a place I would go and drink, but it's too busy in the sense that people are pure ignorant. See, when you're walking down, they just walk right into you. I've noticed. And that's one thing that annoys me. That's probably the biggest thing that annoys me. And I think they're quite, not all, I wouldn't like to judge a book by its cover, but the majority that I've came into contact with are quite rude. So other than a night out, it's not a great place.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's our hot take. Make of that what you will. Hybe's Fan TV says, love Motherwell away, top quality ground, and the food is top tier. Just a shame we very rarely bring a good support there. I know. I mean, I genuinely think it's a shame that Hibs don't bring a good support to Fir Park unless it's a huge game and say it's a cup quarter final. I mean, that's not happened recently. But I mean, Hearts usually bring a really good support to Fir Park. Just wish that Edinburgh brothers would do the same, because it's genuinely like wherever Motherwell play one of this so-called Big Five clubs, it's usually a great atmosphere. Joseph says Dundee is like Hamburg in my opinion because it's that rebellious attitude to it and has the rustics of a port city. Well,
what did you think of Hamburg, Joseph? Do you like it? Was the food great? How long were you there for?
I've been to Hamburg as well.
I swear he's going to say, "Oh, I've never been," but he's going to compare it to like.
I went to St Pauli's Stadium.
Is it nice?
Yeah, really nice. I mean, all the stands were symmetrical.
Are they? I've never seen St Pauli's Stadium, I don't think.
From what I can remember, I mean, it was a very tall ground.
I'm just going to look at it now.
It was about 6 or 7 years ago, so I don't have a strong memory of it. We were there for about 20 to 30 minutes.
I see what you mean. It is quite. I see what you mean. Symmetrical.
I mean, it's an aesthetically pleasing ground.
It is. It's quite nice.
Mm.
It's better than the Volkspark Stadion. I'll say that. That's Hamburg's ground for anyone that doesn't know.
I thought it was the Veltons Arena.
No, that's Schalke.
I always get they two mixed up.
I was because I know Wolfsburg plays at the Volkswagen Arena or something.
Right.
Aye, it's one you'll always get mixed up. But aye, the Volkspark Stadion is it's rubbish.
Hibs fan TV got a bit riled when I said Edinburgh Brothers.
Well, I mean, I know Celtic and Hibs are brothers across the M8, and Hearts and Rangers are cousins across the M8. So I don't know what you call it. Husband and wife in the same city. Who knows? Definitely know that Hibs are the wife, but hey.
Aye, because they're the ones that get beat. Usually. Oh, there's an unsubscription. Frantic Wizard says half the people in Princess Street aren't even locals from Edinburgh. They're all English snobs.
Well, I'll take that. I'll take that on board. But always walking your way. I'll say that. So maybe I'm being a bit harsh.
Yeah, I do get that. I like Edinburgh's great for events and stuff, but I genuinely try and spend as little time in Edinburgh as possible. I only usually use Edinburgh as a way to get to another place.
I was there for the Fringe in 2017. It was just packed, mate. But it obviously would be, but people would just get in your way constantly. And I'm a fast walker. Anybody that follows me on Strava knows that I walk fast. If people start slowing down and getting in your way and all that, it riles me up.
You have to do a wee dance to just get out of the way of people. And
some guy walked into me and then assumed it was my fault when I was like, well, you're the one that walked into me, stupid. And he, very riling.
Edinburgh is a very cosmopolitan site. I mean, you're allowed to say Tory.
I'm going to stay silent.
Whenever someone uses a really long word such as that to describe something, I'm just like, nah, just shut up.
It's when people use those kind of. I mean, I know what he's saying, but you could just have said something different than the word cosmopolitan.
He's just trying to get a high-scoring word in Scrabble. That's all.
Yeah, it's a word that's too big for people like me.
Joseph says, I haven't been to Hamburg, but I really want to.
I love how he says Dundee is like Hamburg. But he's never been to Hamburg, so he can't really give a comment on how it's the same kind of city when he hasn't been to the city. Joseph Coyle making an arse of himself on stream yet again. Clap, clap, clap.
I've been to Berlin, and it is my type of city, to be honest.
Yeah, I like Berlin. Berlin's a
Berlin's class, except for those who like to jaywalk. It's definitely not the place for jaywalkers.
I just like Berlin for the sort of. It's a city of. It's one I really want to explore. I was only in it for a short time, but the short time I was in it, I loved it.
Did you go to the Olympic Stadium?
Say that again?
Did you go to the Olympic Stadium?
No, mate, I never. I was only in it for maybe a couple hours. I remember getting the train to Leipzig. But It's
Oh,
one,
was that for the Celtic game?
yeah, it's one that I really want
Oh,
to go
nice.
sort of visit. See all the historical significant places. But Leipzig, by the way, that was like a time warp. By the way, going back to like the 60s of communism, man. Honestly, it was such a all the buildings were sort of old and kind of. It was just
Was
one
that
that
for
you
you?
could say that again.
Ambulance.
Yes, mate. It probably is. It's will be. Dundee had a good chance there. Mate, Adams just came and burst my lip for all that A part, so the ambulance is. um, listen, great city, one I want to explore, but Leipzig again was it was very Eastern Bloc. I'll say that.
Interesting stuff, because I've never been to Leipzig. I mean, I've been to Bremen, I've been to Cologne, I've been to Hamburg, I've been to Berlin, but I've yet to really properly travel on my own in Germany.
Well, if you ever need a travel companion for Germany, count me in, because I love Germany. It's a great country.
It is called an education, says David Youngs. Aye, no bother, mate.
Cosmopolitan, I think he means that there's a diverse number of nationalities, but I could just said it's a city that's diverse, but no, he said it's very cosmopolitan.
Very cosmopolitan.
Just say you're a Tory and be over with it.
I know Edinburgh isn't Tory. I kid on. I stay 2 minutes from Princes Street. It's a pain with tourists. I hate it. Being like a holiday with COVID.
I've never been on a holiday with COVID, mate, to be fair.
There we go. We've got someone in Edinburgh who doesn't like Edinburgh because of how busy it is. There we go.
The thing is I know it's not all Tory. I think most, like a fair bit of southern Scotland is Tory, but Edinburgh, leave it there.
I mean, I've just used the term Tory as a substitute for something that's snobby. So, I mean, just because I said something is Tory doesn't mean it's actually Tory. It's something to take the piss.
Fermandy Mendy has just been booked for RAITH Rovers.
Right. And here's a free kick for Charlie Adam to whip into the box.
I might do nothing.
Ibis Fan TV says, Stefan, what did you think of the game earlier?
I didn't see it, mate. I was getting my hair cut. I purposely made sure that I was missing the football. So, yeah, mate, can't really comment. Sorry. I'm sure you'll be able to tell me. How did you think it was?
Aye, because it was literally the best game you could have ever missed. 0-0 draw.
Typical of Celtic, but man, they don't half go out with a whimper. The performance against St Johnstone Wednesday night was a classic, a clinic, everything you would expect from Celtic, and then they go away from home today, and then that happens. It's just brutal.
Di Stefano, the East German critic, went once.
Yeah, I have family in Germany, but I wasn't criticising Leipzig. I was just saying that it's a city that's it reminded me of 1960s Russia. It was very Eastern Bloc. So,
Barcelona Hotel says, "What is the Gaza Strip of Scotland?" I think it's the roads from Methil down to Leven. I think that is the Gaza Strip of Scotland.
Gaza Strip of Scotland, the Trongate in Glasgow. It's it's one of the worst places to walk through. By the way, see the stench of it, man. It's brutal, but I would say that I don't know about violence, but certainly it's a undesirable area. I like going.
Like, apart from St Andrews, there's not a place I dislike more than Leven. I just can't stand it. Like, and then when you have to go to Methil for the football, sometimes, or because I choose to, because there's nothing else to do.
My gran and papa loved Leven, by the way. It was their like favorite holiday destination.
Oh dear.
I not one you would expect.
It's definitely not what you'd expect. Even is an awful place. Like the town is declining.
Mm-hmm.
Says someone that lives in Cooper, but Cooper at least has a train station.
See, when you say Cooper to me is Cooper. Where you're from, is it not Cooper or something?
Cooper, where I say Cooper, is spelled Cupar, and that's not to be confused with Cooper Angus, which is probably about an hour north. Not an hour, probably about 40 minutes north, which is spelled Coupar and then Angus.
Is that not? Nah.
A lot of people get confused, especially when they're in the west, because Cooper Angus is much more well known than actual Cooper.
I will say I've never heard of either, but I did some research on Cooper, and I think you're the most well-known person from there, so I'll say
that. Joseph Coyle says Berlin is a very cheap, and went to the Olympiastadion. Also affordable beer and food. Count me in as your Germany mate. Public transportation is amazing as well. Cool. Well, I've been to Berlin. Thank you. It's a
public transportation. What did he say about public transportation?
It's amazing as well.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Aeroplanes, not so much.
Mm-hmm. Frantic Wizard says it's fee-paying schools that make Edinburgh come off more snobby. Can't be as bad as the Borders and Aberdeenshire. Then again, I don't spend much time in Aberdeen or the Borders, so.
See, when he says borders, does he mean the borders between Glasgow and Edinburgh? Does he mean the actual borders between Scotland and England?
No, mate, the border between England and Ireland. Please tell me you got that.
No.
Never mind. I'd say the borders between England and Scotland.
Okay. No, that's
places like Hoyk or Moffat.
Hoyk. I've never heard of Hoyk in my life.
Alright, okay.
My geography.
You're a very, very big city guy, aren't you?
Oh, what?
You're a very big city guy, aren't you?
Aye. I don't do well. I'm a city slicker. I don't do well out of my comfort zone. If it's not a big city, I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be out of my comfort zone in New York State in a couple of months, but we'll see how we go.
The free kick for RAITH Rovers blocked by the wall, and it's been blocked again, and it's gone out for a goal kick, a bye kick.
Should RAITH be chasing this game a little bit more?
I definitely think so.
I think Dundee are sitting back too much, so I think RAITH Rovers really need to have a go.
Yeah, they are sitting back a wee bit, aren't they?
Maybe they're just comfortable and they don't think RAITH will do anything, but I think complacency can cost you.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, look at Celtic. Look at how complacent they've been over the last 2 years.
That's half time. 1-0 to RAITH Rovers, with a Lewis Vaughan goal. Sorry, don't know what I'm talking about half the time. What do you think of the game so far?
What?
What do you think of the game so far?
Listen, it's been good. I'm not a big championship watcher, but I've been impressed with what I've seen from RAITH Rovers. I think they deserve to be in the lead. They've played some great football. As I've said, Dundee are a little bit too passive for me. They're sitting back too much. I think they're showing RAITH a bit too much respect. I think that can come and cost you in key moments, as we've seen. Their keeper was all over the place for the first goal. So if I'm a Dundee fan, I'm saying, listen, what are we doing here? We need to be making sure we are in the final. And as for RAITH Rovers, I think somebody should be saying to John McGlynn that we should be chasing this game a bit more. We've essentially got nothing to lose. We're 1-0 up, but we're 3-1 down. We need to go and we need to go and chase it. So yeah, been good, been impressed.
Yeah, that's a fair enough statement. Let's have your comments then about the game. Cameron Moreland says, "Are Raith doing the impossible?" Jack Esthrop says, I knew Rangers had a good chance this season, but I never expected such a dominant season, breaking multiple records. John Mitchell says, Could Meath looks like a war zone. I completely agree, having been there multiple times myself. Glenrothes is like they just picked up a Soviet town in Russia from the 70s and plopped it in the middle of Fife. I couldn't agree more. Hawk is Hoik, mate. Or is it just pronounced Hawk? Right, sorry. John Knox said he hadn't heard of Fife till he was about 18. Well, that's very sheltered childhood.
In fairness, neither had I. And then I found out it was a kingdom. And I was like, what kind of medieval rubbish is this?
The Kingdom of Fife. Like, I just call it Fife. Like, I don't worry.
Well, you are a Tory, so you fit
I'm
right.
not a Tory, though. I'm for the SNP, mate.
Man sits in a hot tub and says he's not a Tory. Sitting in the Tory tub and he said he's not a Tory. I'm not having that, Gogsy. Not having that at all, my man.
Daz47 says Blair Gowrie, Methil, Valleyfield, Rosyth. Blair Gowrie, that's not even in Dundee. That's not even in Fife.
Is Rossi not in Argyll?
Rosyth. No, Rosyth's Dunfermline way, mate.
Is it? No, is it Rosyth? There is another place called Rossi then, isn't there?
Yeah. That's Rosyth that Daz has brought up.
Right, I'm Googling this because I need to make sure I'm not making a mess of myself. Okay, I probably have. I'm sure there's a place called. Now I know Rosyth and Dunfermline, but I'm sure there's a Rossi in Argyll and Butte. Unless I'm thinking of something completely different, but yeah, yeah.
With this display, I can't see any of these teams beating Killie or Ross County, says John. Probably not. I think the focal points of attack are maybe a wee bit stronger for Ross County and Killie than Dundee or Raith Rovers. You're thinking of Rothsay, mate. That's
Rothsay. So it is. I was trying to think there. Never mind. I've made a. This panel makes a mess of it once again.
Blair Gowrie is about 45 minutes from me, I think, but I can't remember the last time it was Blair Gowrie. That's Perthshire, I'm pretty sure, or it's just outside Dundee. Like it's not near Cooper. I can say that for a fact. Tommy Gunn says, I have a hot tub and I despise the Tories.
Well, sorry, I don't make the rules, Tommy, but I would be shipping that hot tub out of there because it's a staple of Toryism, in my opinion.
That's funny. That is funny. Ever been to Crail and Fife? I avoid tourist hotspots in Fife like the plague.
Why?
Because
you don't want them laughing and pointing at you saying, "Oh, he's a Fifer hat." Do you feel like you're like an elephant that's enclosed in a in a zoo or something? Museum, Jesus.
You're trying to suggest that I've got a big ego, mate. What are you trying to say?
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
Ivy says, I second that. I also have a hot tub and despise Tories.
It's nice to see a lot of people on here tonight are outing themselves as Tories because they have hot tubs. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Keep on telling me that you have a hot tub, and I'll keep on labeling you in a Tory. It's a machine that will just keep going.
We've only just discovered the horse and cart in Dunfermline. Never mind the hot tub, says Daz.
I can't even respond to that. That's quality, Pat. Give them it. Someone's patter has impressed me. That takes a lot.
When I first heard of Fife, it sounded like a fantasy land where the orcs live, and I was proved correct, says John Knox. Fuck's sake.
Oh, love
it. That you were loving a wee Lord of the Rings reference there, Stefan.
I know, mate. I know. I've let myself down there, haven't I? I don't know much about Lord of the Rings.
Ewan Star says, shame that there won't be any fans in the final next week, but at least we will have fans at the Euros. How would you feel if you were one of 300 fans that got a ticket?
But nobody got a ticket, though. That's the thing. Nobody can be upset, to be honest.
No,
it's rubbish.
You were promised nothing at the start. And then
you get that glimpse of hope, or you might get something, then it's taken away from you. I get that, but I think lives are more important, to be honest. So
I'm just like, so what?
Probably because both of our teams aren't there, so we're kind of being like, well, it's a bit sour grapes coming from us, because if Celtic had the chance to have fans there, or Motherwell had the chance to have fans there, we would both be holding different opinions. But I'm looking at it from the COVID point of view. So
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If Motherwell had actually got into the semi-final, I would have gone and tried my arm and leg to try and get a press pass in any.
Did you know that press pass to an Old Firm Hamden final?
I got 2 free hospitality tickets for Rangers versus Celtic. Yeah.
How did that happen?
Mitre offered me the chance because I was their favourite quotation marks Scottish football content creator.
I love it. I wish I'd known you then, and then maybe I could get a ticket. Well, a hospitality ticket. I had an actual ticket, but
the first man I was going to ask was my dad, because I hardly get to go to the football anymore with my dad, so I had to ask him first before I ask anyone else.
Well, that's fair. Can't really argue with that.
It was a great day. Like, literally, free food, free drink, superb.
I agree. It was a great day. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it was great. I had a comfier seat than the journalist sitting in front of me.
Yeah, that would have cheesed me off a little
bit. Here comes the Tory vibes again.
Wait, how?
Well, because it was basically the prawn sandwich brigade.
Well,
I was sitting just right next to the SFA. They were sitting in the box above me.
Oh, they were. Oh, look at them. They were sitting in the box above me. Oh, because I had a box at Hampden. Oh, laddie da. Whereas I was stuck in the. I can't even remember the section I was in. I think it was I something, and I could feel the rain literally blowing into my face. It was Celtic won, made up for it, but big Tory.
Yana says it'd be pretty awkward. You'd fart and every cunt watching at home would hear it.
Makes a good point.
Hibs have the edge in the final. They are used to having fans dressed as seats at Hamden.
I'll give them that.
That's a good one. It's a win-win for Hibs, because even if they lose, they are used to bottling it, so it will be like water off a duck's back.
I'm looking forward to it, I have to say. Come on, St Johnstone. I really want Callum Davidson to do a double.
Aye, so he can rightfully get Manager of the Year.
Well, not that, just the fact that St Johnstone will then become the second most successful team in Scotland over the last decade. So, have they not only won one trophy? Oh no, I
2.
suppose they've won 2. Oh well, they would. They would maintain their place with 3. So yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
And there's the usual comment about Hampden needing redeveloped.
I don't disagree with that comment. In fairness, I think Hampden's with all due respect, it's a hellhole of a stadium when you're sitting on the, either side of the goals. Like the distance is really bad, and I think it's something that should be worked on, and kind of follow the same sort of layout as Stuttgart's Mercedes-Benz Arena or Spartak Moscow's the Olympic Stadium in what was it called in Moscow anyway. But I think if they follow that game plan, they can make Hampden into a really, really good looking stadium. But see, right now you're looking at it, it's like something out of the 40s and 50s. It's not a great look for a national stadium. I will be honest, and I do agree with John Knox. I think it does need redeveloped, but I then also see the other side of it, which is fine too. But it's a discussion we have to have, I think, or at least the higher ups of Hampden need to have, because when they were talking about moving Murrayfield to Hampden, the national stadium rights and everything to Murrayfield, I wasn't against that. I would have preferred it to stay in Glasgow, but I think stuff has to be made. I think we need to make a change to Hampden for how it looks, because it isn't a great looking stadium. I'll be honest with you.
Nah, it looks run down. Daz47 says Scotland national team should play at Murrayfield. Fight me.
I will fight you, because Murrayfield's a rugby stadium, and every time I've been to Murrayfield, I've not enjoyed the experience.
And I would also like to say the Scotland national team already do play at Murrayfield.
Well, the rugby, but
the rugby team. Yeah.
Your patter is mince.
Says you.
Says me, mate. If it wasn't for me, in my patter, that Passamite group chat would be dead. It is me that makes it.
To be fair, you're the only one that reacts to my comments, so.
I know, mate. I react to everyone's comments, but what can I say?
Jack Esthop says, no, Hamden is the tradition. Only those in Edinburgh would want that.
Yeah, well said, Jack. Agreed.
I'll be honest, I actually enjoy Hampden. I might be one of very few people that actually appreciates Hampden for what it is, because as a small-time fan of a team that doesn't get to Hampden very often, I see Hampden as going to Hampden as a reward. And even if it's for a Scotland game, I love it.
But see, for someone who classes Hampden as their team's second home, it is a stadium. I'm not even going to continue. I thought I'd make the joke in bounds.
I thought you would carry on the jokes, so you've got the difference of quality of support.
No, I'll leave it. Said it now. I have to say, Celtic never used to have a great record at Hampden. They always had Hampden hoodoo. So and since Brendan Rodgers came in, I don't think Celtic have lost a game at Hampden since 2016. So yeah,
I'm glad it didn't, and hopefully it stays like that, because hopefully you'll never get there again.
Well, that's not realistic, Gogsy.
It's not realistic, but one can dream, because for as long as Rangers and Celtic get knocked out of the early rounds, that's the only chance that smaller teams have of actually winning a cup. Because the thing is, the psyche of a foot of me is I'm wanting in the early rounds Celtic and Rangers to get tough away ties at Hibs or Aberdeen or Hearts, because Hearts have beaten Rangers, St Mirren beat Rangers in the cup this year. I mean, even St Johnstone beat them at Ibrox, but that was because there was no crowd there. I think if a crowd there, Rangers may have won about 2 or 3-0.
But see, the thing is, Gogsy, I forgot what I was going to say. That's right out of my head. No, I can't remember that. I was about to say something, and it's it's been right out of my head. So I forget that. Let's move on.
Joseph says, however, if the UK and Ireland win the World Cup 2030 bid, Hampden will get renovated. Yeah, only if we win the bid, because there is no money in the budget for Hampden to get renovated right now. And that is why that it is the way it is.
Yeah.
Ewan Star says, I'm off to watch a film. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, lad. Sorry for boring you, Ewan, but
I know, Ewan. Yeah, cheeky swine.
In my opinion, Hampden is not a great ground when there is two clubs playing there. However, if there's 40,000 plus at Hampden Sports Scotland, then it can be a good stadium. Yeah, the roar of Hampden, I mean, we've not had it that often recently, but it is something genuinely to be treasured.
I'm really trying to take back to what I was trying to say. I'm not going to lie, because it has went out of my head, but I was trying to make a great point. That's nonsense, Stefan. Sorry, Gogsy, I've let you down, mate.
Oh, by the way, the second half kicked off a couple of minutes ago.
I know, mate, I've been watching it, but nothing of note has really happened, so...
What minute are you in?
In the... Try to see there, 47th.
I'm just entering the 48th now.
I hate being behind people, I'm not going to lie.
I'm just saying, well, for once, me being where I am located, the Wi-Fi here is better than back home.
Yeah, mate, that's because you're not in, like... Not going to give away your precise location, but you're not near an actual city.
Yes, I am much closer to an actual city here than I am anywhere else.
Well, that might just possibly be why, mate. It helps when you're in a city and you're not in the middle of a cornfield.
Billy Memmon says, came on for 5 minutes. I think I'm off to watch a movie too.
Catch you after then, Billy. Big fan of yours, but see you later.
I thought the reason the SFA bought it off Queen's was to redevelop it. Could be that, but there's no room in the budget, apparently. Jack Estop says, looks like this old firm Lowland League thing is happening. Don't get
rubbish, isn't it?
You know why I think most of the clubs actually voted for it?
No, go tell me.
Because it'll still bring in fans.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people saying that they would go to Colt games, which is great, but not Colt games, but they would go to the Colt, like the Celtic and Rangers Colt games. So it would bring in fans, but nah, it's not for me, to be honest.
For me, it's also another potential cash cow for Celtic and Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't it just funny how Celtic and Rangers fans who take no interest in the lower leagues are trying to tell us all it's a great thing?
Oh, I know. Like I've literally never I've never had a proper conversation with a Celtic or Rangers fan about stuff in the lowland leagues until CJ started talking to me about Rangers times in the lower leagues. I was like, wait, I can't even relate because Motherwell's been in the top flight for my whole life.
Oh, I love it.
But that must have been a couple of years ago now, because CJ said that he didn't actually pay attention to anything in the top flight until Rangers got back into the top flight.
Aye, that one.
That one. But it's still always good to have a conversation about it, because I think the lower leagues are definitely underspoken and underrepresented.
Oh, they are 100%. Can't disagree with that. I've enjoyed watching the Championship games that I have seen this season. So, Dundee are pressing now, aren't they?
I think Dundee know if they get a goal, they've killed this tie.
Yep. It's on RAITH now to really push.
Mm-hmm. That's a lovely ball by Charlie Adam, and Paul McGowan's done an equally delicious cross. Just needed to be a wee bit higher.
He's looking to be fancy there, isn't he?
Aye.
And then Charlie Adams just blazed it right over the bar.
Daz 47 says, you would think with half the Queen's Park players being builders and plasterers. Do you want to rethink that?
Yeah, I would.
National team?
Big Daz has done himself.
Daz has done himself dirty here. Queen's Park were the only amateur club in the top 4 divisions until this season. So if you want to just rethink that. And the thing is, Queen's Park were in the 4th tier pretty much almost every year that there was a pyramid playoff, and they still challenged for the promotion playoffs every season.
Yeah.
So they were still outperforming teams that were semi-professional.
I'm really happy that Queen's decided to go pro.
I am as well.
I think it's a great move.
I mean, my granddad, who's been a Queen's Park fan all his life, is absolutely buzzing that they've just won their league for the first time in 20 years.
Is that them in League One now?
Yeah, League One now. And I think they'll challenge for League One. It'll be between them, Falkirk and Cove for promotion.
Yeah. What's happening with Kelty Hearts and Brora Rangers, Goggsy?
Kelty beat Brora Rangers 6-1 on aggregate.
Right.
In the semi-final. Kelty are playing Brechin on Tuesday, and then they're playing at Glebe Park on the following Sunday.
Okay, that's a good one. That could be a good stream. That if we, I don't know if we're covering.
I don't think we'll do it because there's not enough demand for it.
Okay.
I mean, what I will say here on Pass the Mic is I did reach out to Kelty Hearts to try and maybe do something on location, but there wasn't enough room in their media passes, and all their media passes had all been used up by basically the more mainstream media.
This could be a big one because this could be one that could knock Brechin out of the professional setup.
I reckon it will, and I think Brechin will be gone from it. Although there has been rumours that Brechin have got some sort of force behind them for if they do get relegated, which will see them go into the Highland League.
Yeah.
So they could bounce back up. But I don't think they'll have the same effect as such as Kelty Hearts.
Yeah. Here's hoping. I genuinely, it's one I want to see. I'm not going to lie. I would like to see Kelty Hearts up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, that club is far too ambitious for the Lowland League.
Yeah.
Graham says, have Queen's Park appointed a new manager? Not that I'm aware of. I'm pretty sure they'll be working on something. I mean, they've got quite a few big names touted for the job. I don't know why Ray McKinnon wasn't kept on, because he's done a great job in terms of assembling a good enough squad to get the team up, with the likes of Simon Murray in the team.
Yeah, it was a strange one. He's a good manager, Ray McKinnon. Not very much liked by a few support bases, but a very good manager.
David Young says, hopefully finally removing Brechin from the professional setup. Yeah, Barry Ferguson, potential future Premiership manager. In my opinion, he's not there yet.
Not yet, but I think in the future he could be.
Not yet, because, I mean, it's taken him, unfortunately for him, I think it's taken him 2 attempts to potentially get promoted, of course, due to COVID. But also, look at the wealth that Kelty have. Like, they signed Nathan Austin from Inverness. Like, they've been signing championship standard players to play in essentially the 5th tier of Scottish football.
Yeah.
They've won their league by a landslide. They only lost 1 game out of 13 in this current season. And there's no way that, in my opinion, because a manager for me is someone who manages the current resources to its full potential and more. And for me, a great manager is someone that takes a team that's touted for relegation into the top 6.
Yep.
Whereas a great manager isn't Barry Ferguson just yet until he actually proves himself.
Yeah, I think he's got a fair bit of a way to go, but I definitely wouldn't rule it out.
David Young says we need more aspiring clubs in Scottish football. But I think in the next 10 years, I think the bottom two divisions of the 42 will look different to what it does now. I think we'll have quite a few clubs being threatened by the trapdoor, but there's only one space. So I reckon the next team to go might be Cowdenbeath.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be interesting. A Cowdenbeath versus Kelty derby next season.
Yeah, a bit interesting one. Another derby for Scottish football.
Mm-hmm. Because they're literally right next to each other.
Yeah.
Aspiring clubs like Gretna, good times. John Mitchell says Red Bull Brecon going down, I hope.
Yes, I hope so. That Red Bull Brecon stuff, gee, that to see them go down.
Yeah. Kelly have the likes of Nathan Austin, Callum Higginbotham, and Michael Tidser playing for them. Yeah, they're definitely their squad's good enough to compete for League One, I think. Because they've also got the likes of Craig Reid, who's at Motherwell and Morton.
Yeah.
Trying to think off the top of my head, it's also not working. But so this week we're definitely not going to be covering the low league playoff, which is a shame because I really wanted to, but I was only going to do it if we were on the channel for it. Yeah. I think it's a corner here for RAITH Rovers.
Yep, that's just coming up for me now.
Mm-hmm. Daz47 says, me and my mate bought shares in Annan because it only cost a tenner and it was a laugh. So I always keep an eye on the scores. That's great. I appreciate that. Have a look at Cove Rangers for example. Yeah, that's the thing. Because I genuinely think Cove Rangers will be in the Championship within a couple of seasons. What do you think about Ross not being nominated for Manager of the Year? If he wins the Cup next weekend, that's some season for him. 2 semis, 1 Cup and 3rd. So, yeah, considering it's our highest finish since 2005. I also think Callum Davis. But I think, as I said, what manager is, I think Hibs with the resources they've got, they should be challenging for 3rd every season. That's why Callum Davidson, on a shoestring budget, has been nominated ahead of him because, well, St Johnstone have won a cup. That's more than what Hibs have done this season. Okay, they finished lower than them, but he's also got them European football.
Yeah. I think he's unlucky not to be in manager for manager of the month, manager of the year, but I think the candidates were there. I think they deserve to be.
And also, like, I don't like to pick holes in performance, but you look at some of the results that Hibs have lost this season.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been scalped at home to the likes of Livingston, Ross County, etc. I know I'm not one to talk being a Motherwell fan, but there's been so many people crowing about the performance of Hibs this season. I genuinely don't think Hibs have been that great. I mean, you see, when Motherwell played Hibs this season, Hibs have looked shaky whenever they've been attacked. Like, Hibs aren't defensively sound enough, in my opinion, and they've crawled to 3rd place. I mean, Motherwell crawled to 3rd place the season before as well.
The thing for Hibs, the only times I've seen them this season, the only good game I think they had was against Rangers at home. What?
The 2-each game.
Yeah, where I think they played well. They should have bet Celtic at home, but they bottled a 2-0 lead. just in the games I've seen them, I don't think they've been that outstanding. But to get third place is obviously a special achievement.
Hibs Fan TV says, you say that, however, Gerrard was awarded Yeah, I've never been an advocate of Gerrard winning Manager of the Year. Yeah, being undefeated in the league is probably the biggest achievement you could ask for. I mean, if you were to tell me,
winning the all three domestic trophies invincibly is probably a bigger achievement.
That is, yeah, granted. Sorry, I've misrepresented my point here, but I think the fact that Rangers doing so well in Europe could very well compensate not picking up a second or third domestic trophy.
Oh, Raith had a chance there, man. Gerrard shouldn't have won Manager of the Year, and I'll say it solely from an unbiased point of view. I'm not saying it. Well, look at the Celtic fans saying Gerrard shouldn't have won the year, talking nonsense. I genuinely don't think he should have, because Brendan Rodgers won the Scottish Premiership invincibly and didn't win Manager of the Year. I think Steve Clarke won it at Kilmarnock that year.
Yes.
So. Listen, are we awarding it because the team went invincible? Okay, Brendan should have won it, then he didn't. So it's a little bit, it's a strange one for me. I think you deserve to be Manager on the years on the level of accomplishments. Yes, winning the league is a main priority for Rangers. It's something that one of the Glasgow sides are expected to do. However, Callum Davidson taking St Johnstone off the bottom of the table this season, where they were, and then winning 2 domestic cups and taking them to a European place, that meant Manager of the Year. Potential European place. I think it merits it, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Do they not definitely get it? If Hibs win, do they not get something anyway?
Basically, both teams are guaranteed Conference League at the lowest. The winner of the cup determines who gets Europa League spot.
Right, okay. But they both, St Johnstone are guaranteed Europe at least.
Yes, St Johnstone are guaranteed Europe this season.
Okay, so take all that into effect with St Johnstone getting into Europe, that merits Manager of the Year. I'm not discounting what Gerrard's done, but I am praising Callum Davidson for what he has done, and he does deserve to be Manager of the Year.
What annoys me is all these end of season awards are always given out like when there's like 2 or 3 games to spare. There's always
at the end of the season.
Yeah, that is why the Pass the Mic Awards, which I've not announced yet, will be after the last stream of the season, because we don't know what's going to happen in the final stream till it actually happens. So because it plays a bit with my OCD, like you've got the top goal scorer awards. He's say what Odsonne Edouard has scored 20 goals in a season, just for argument's sake. And then you've got Alfredo Morelos sitting on 19 goals, and you've already given out the top goal scorer award. And Rangers beat Celtic 2-0 with 2 goals from Alfredo Morelos in the last day of the season. Morelos doesn't get the top goal scorer award, does he?
No, because it's already been handed.
Odsonne Edouard has to rock up to Ibrox and just present him the trophy himself.
Aye. It doesn't make sense, does it?
No, it really doesn't. And I know what I say is theoretic, but it could still happen in a parallel universe.
Yeah, like an Old Firm last day, that's never going to happen.
I mean, that's never going to happen, but because like Scottish football wouldn't allow it to happen. That's the thing.
How dramatic would that be, though, if it was and both teams were on the same number of points and same number of goals, etc.?
I would genuinely love it. Like that would make great television.
It would. I certainly wouldn't be on Pass the Mic for it. I will say that.
No, definitely not. No, but it's the same stuff, such as okay, you can maybe allow for some of your minor awards, but honestly, stuff that happens over the course of a season, and like if it affects statistics, statistics can change with the click of a finger. Like it could be completely different.
Yep.
Joseph, there will be a video dropped the week running up to the actual filming of the awards, so it will be posted in due course.
I'm looking forward to that award night. I am getting steaming.
So's everyone, mate.
My dissertation will be finished, and I'll be getting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dundee unlucky there, mate.
Yeah, Highways Fan TV is completely right. Sure, I was going to say that surely they should have waited to see if Davidson won the cup. I mean, Johnson hadn't actually placed fifth officially until after the award was given. I mean, St Johnstone doing what they've done this season is basically what almost all non-Old Firm fans hope for: a top six finish, a trophy, and potentially a place in Europe. That's what you want in a season. That's what I want in a season. That for me is the perfect season.
That was an interesting technique from the Wraith defender there. He hit the deck as his teammate took the ball so as not to have the ball blasted off him. That was quite nice to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm not liking dense parts either. Touchline or their bylines, I'm not liking that. They're shaded.
Mm-hmm. Tommy Gunn saying winning the league and not losing a game, manager of the year, in my opinion.
I get that. I do get that, and I can see where he's coming from. However, when the precedent's set, if you're not giving it to one manager who's won the league invincibly, I don't see how you can give it to the other. Both did the same achievement.
But at the same time, I bring the definition of the term manager to you. Someone who manages the resources and what you have got in your current club. I think Callum Davidson has been a better manager than Steven Gerrard this season. Rangers have plummeted so much money into this season. You almost expect them to have a good season in the league, and so they should. Rangers and Celtic are the biggest two clubs in the country. I'm not going to say who's bigger than the other because that'll just spark another debate. Quite simply, and I do not want to have that debate because for me it's not an argument. You have to just put them on the same page as in terms of stature of club because they're both so massive and they're both so widely supported. But for me, you're mad not to give Callum Davidson the Manager of the Year award.
Yep, no, I agree. I fully agree with you, Hogsy.
Like, Callum Davidson has managed St Johnstone better than Steven Gerrard has. Okay, it would have been different if Rangers got to the final of the Europa League. I can pretty much say that because that is a big achievement in itself. But I can't see past Callum Davidson.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. There's an ambulance coming for me again.
Yeah,
I think it's Dundee's now, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't care about the defensive record of Celtic and Rangers in invincible seasons. Celtic also won 2 more trophies than Rangers did in 16-17 than Rangers have this season. I mean, even Callum Davidson even beat Rangers on a run to one of the 2 cup finals that they've got to this season.
Yeah.
And that was one of the best performances, one of the best defensive performances I've seen all season.
That was a great performance from St Johnstone that day.
Xander Clark was on a different planet.
Aye. Did Charlie Adam just get booked for that challenge there?
I didn't see it because I was reading the comments. Graham Caldwell says, Gogs, I'm presuming you had a show for the first leg. We covered the first leg alongside the 6 games in the Scottish Premiership on Wednesday because it was on at the same time. So we just completely merged the show, and the show went really well.
I enjoy that. It's one of the best shows, I have to say, I've
Yeah.
been part of.
I'm sorry you missed it, Graham, because honestly, it was such a great laugh.
It was, eh?
Besides Celtic, were massive favourites. It doesn't matter about that, though. You have to beat what you're up against.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can't wait for to hear the excuse. Celtic bet a Rangers team with Kiernan and whoever the other guy was.
And
you know,
also,
if that's the argument, Rangers bet a Celtic team with Shane Duffy and whoever else. So the argument's irrelevant.
and also, should I also bring to you that Celtic were knocked out of both cups before Rangers were.
Yeah.
Therefore, Rangers were the clear favourite to win both cups as well. We can go round and round in circles with different points about this one debate.
The other thing is 16-17. Nobody was saying that Celtic were massive favourites. Then Rangers fans took a tifo to Ibrox saying 55. Was that tifo displayed out of what? Did you not really believe you were going to get it? You were just saying it for bravado? No, the Rangers fans genuinely believed that they were going to win the league when they came back up at the first attempt because they had beaten Celtic in the Scottish Cup in the 15-16 season. So come on. Let's just be honest about it. Don't try and rewrite history. Don't try any of the revisionism. Just call it for what it was. Seriously, it's one thing that really bugs me about football fans, man. Honestly.
Yeah. Robbie Thistle, the last time this happened at Motherwell, funnily enough, out with the Old Firm, Motherwell was the last team to participate in both cup finals. I'm pretty sure it was either that or Aberdeen.
I was going to say, did Aberdeen... No, Aberdeen played Celtic in the Betfred final, but then the Scottish Cup semi-finals. I think it was Motherwell in 2017 because it was Aberdeen the year before.
Because it was 16-17. It was Aberdeen. He's beaten both finals, and then it was 17-18 that we were unfortunately beaten.
Greatly. Yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing. Like we've Motherwell are one of the very few teams that have reached finals over the last couple of decades that haven't actually won anything in ourselves. We've reached, is it 4 cup finals this millennium?
Yeah.
And we've played Rangers once, got beat 5-1, and we've been beaten handsomely by Celtic
3 times.
3 times. So it's just a crying shame for us because everyone else has basically won a trophy.
This is what I was going to say to you. You could possibly have won the Betfred Cup final in 2017 had Cedric Kipre not fouled Scott Sinclair.
I know we were still very much in the game up until the penalty, and unfortunately, well, we still scored 0 in the day. But who's to say that after Scott Sinclair got tackled fairly, we could have gone up the other end of the park and maybe put one in the back of the net ourselves.
It was definitely a foul, in my opinion. But
of course it was.
It was like later on, was it not? For part, Lustig scored an own goal, and then we get a penalty off Callum McGregor when he was,
which was never a penalty.
I think he wasn't even on the part or something.
Wasn't he? Was about 5-10 yards off the pitch, and he was sent spinning away.
No, it was brilliant. Obviously, it was a penalty. It was a great time.
I don't know if you watched that vlog, by the way, that I did of that game, because for the thumbnail is literally me holding a sign that says "No diving."
No, I'm going to watch it later tonight. Now that you've mentioned it, because I was at the game.
Because Fraser came with me to the game, and he had printed off about 20 sheets of paper that just had the no diving sign that you'd see at a swimming pool, and he was handing it to some of the well boys, and we were all holding it up.
I love it. Yous went mental when Sinclair stepped up to take that.
Oh, and then he goes and shushes us like
It was brilliant.
there is not a player I've hated more in Scottish football than Scott Sinclair.
Oh, RAITH Rovers, man, pushing. No, Scott Sinclair. What a guy.
Like Scott Sinclair, and then Scott Brown. For me, players I've despised. Alfredo Morelos as well, I'd say, is probably in the same conversation.
Why?
Because he's just a dick on the pitch.
Yeah, okay. I have to say, when he did the whole rubbing the salt thing when he scored,
I found that funny.
Yeah, I found that funny.
But
Sure.
like, it was just like Morelos is like I've been saying for seasons. Morelos is that talented, and he has such poor discipline. Like, if I was a Rangers fan, I'd be livid at the amount of times he gets booked or sent off.
I think he's calmed down somewhat this year.
No, he's definitely calmed down. But at the time, like when he had like 5 or 6 red cards in a season, I was pure raging. I'd been pure raging if that had been a Motherwell player.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that.
Because literally, like, Morelos was getting to be odds on to get sent off.
Aye.
Like, I actually had a bet on Morelos to get sent off that day he got sent off against Celtic.
Say that again?
I'd bet on Morelos to get sent off the day he got sent off against Celtic.
Hmm.
I won like 50 quid out of it, so it was good.
It's not too bad when you think about it.
Exactly. Off to join the movie watching brigade. Oh, sorry, our conversation's been boring tonight, David.
I think we've done quite well considering there's only 2 of us. But what can I say? The Patter Merchant is here, so.
Jack Estrup says Aberdeen won the Cup double in 86 and 1990, and they haven't won the Scottish Cup since 1990. Although they have won the League Cup in 2014. But Robbie did say, has any other Scottish club played in both cup finals? You didn't say won both cup finals. But I'm assuming that's what he was on about. Breaking news elsewhere: Zidane has. I don't care about Real Madrid. Like, honestly,
Zidane's what?
Zidane is set to leave Real Madrid.
Oh God, water's wet.
Mm-hmm. Tommy Gunn said, as a St Johnstone supporter, I had no idea that success can be so painful potentially.
Say that again. The success can be.
I think he's referring to the fact that he's not been able to go to the ground and watch it.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Tumulty is the latest player to be in the book. Aye. Thing is, if you were to tell me in a season of a pandemic, Motherwell were to go on to win a trophy, I'd take it anyway.
Well, yeah, of course. Do you think Motherwell will win a trophy anytime soon?
I think our chances have improved. If we were to win a trophy, this season would have been the season, because it would have been typical that we wouldn't have been able to go.
Yeah.
And also the fact that we were in the cup when Celtic weren't, and Rangers then got knocked out the same stage we did.
Mm-hmm.
So even at that, but I'm just really disappointed. Like, because okay, yeah, we're a small provincial club on the cusp of the old firm, geographically. And for me I think it may be a bit cheeky for me to say that I wanted better from us, because I've experienced Motherwell in Europe several times in my life. I've experienced 3 cup finals. I've seen so many great days out. I've seen Motherwell play countless games in recent years, so I've been lucky. But at the same time, nothing beats winning a trophy.
No, but I agree with that.
Like, it'd be lovely, like just to have that one day. Like, my dad still refers to the cup final we won in 1991, and it'd been like 39 years before that we last won a cup. And I don't want it to be another 9 years before Motherwell win another trophy, because then it will basically equal 39 years.
Aye.
Because this is the 30th anniversary.
You thought it was nailed on, the sort of spirit of it all. The spirit of 91 would allow you to win it on the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, I genuinely thought it was going to happen, because we beat Morton after penalties, and it was the exact same scoreline. It was the exact same penalty shootout as it was in 1991, because it was the same amount of penalties scored. But good omens aren't such a thing anymore, are they?
Nah, mate, this is football, not miracles. Miracles don't happen.
Not poetic justice.
No, nah, not at all.
Also, Jack Estrop says, honestly, I think we're in for a great 21-22 season with the big 5 together and a potential for 2 Scottish UCL group teams. I think one of them will get in.
Yeah, definitely. I think one will get in. I know one definitely will not get in, but we'll wait and see.
It depends on who Celtic appoint as manager, because it's not official yet.
Nah, but it is Eddie Howe. I'll state my name on it.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to next season. I think it's going to be different for everyone.
Hopefully fans are back in stadiums, Gogsy. I mean, I've loved doing this for the short time that I've been doing it, and hopefully we can continue to do it. But I'm buzzing to get back to Celtic Park. I'm not going to lie. Like, I am buzzing. I was watching some old games in Europe, and I'm just absolutely buzzing to get back in.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm completely with you on that, because like, fans are the lifeblood of the game. You see so many people saying that, but I'm just like, I'm not interested in hearing about it anymore. I just want to get back out there.
Yeah.
Because, like, we've been hearing since even June last year, getting fans back into grounds, this, that, and the next thing. I'm just like, oh, why don't we just stop talking about it? Because the more we talk about it, the more it's going to get delayed.
As it's going to be, I think we'll be waiting maybe till like November time, I think. But I do think fans will get back into the stadiums this year.
I mean, that's okay, because I've got some ideas I want to potentially present to the Past the Mate group chat for when the season returns. And even if we have to still be doing this, which I don't mind, because
I mean, I'm okay with doing this. I enjoy it.
I enjoy this. I enjoy it, because if we were at the football, we wouldn't be talking to each other, because we'd be at different games.
I have to say, this whole experience of doing Pass It Mike has brought me into contact with a lot of people, so I'm thankful for it. It's a lot of great young, up and coming football journalists, broadcasters, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron Rhinus, yes, that is true. Motherwell are giving current season ticket holders a free season ticket for next season.
As a Celtic fan, I hope Celtic follow suit, but as a Celtic fan, I know that's not going to happen.
Absolutely. Dan says, question for each of you: if you could take one player from each Edinburgh club, who would it be? For me, it would be Liam Boyce from Hearts, because Motherwell apart from Devante Cole, who's only really found form in the latter stages of the season, we never really had an out-and-out goal scorer. That's why we signed about 4 or 5 strikers. Also from Hibs, I would probably say I think might be a realistic signing might be Darren McGregor, because I don't think Darren McGregor is going to last that longer at Hibs.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm going to say Josh Doig. Said that for Hibs. For Hearts, it's a difficult one, but I'm just trying to think of decent Hearts. I think the only one I could realistically say would be Craig Gordon, but
you've already had him.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say him. I'd probably have to say Liam Boyce, because he's a good goal scorer, but yeah, I can't really think of anyone else from Hearts that would really merit a move.
Especially when you're a Celtic fan and you're talking about a team in a lower division.
Yeah, exactly.
You forgot Edinburgh City. Oh, sorry. Who from Edinburgh City would make the grade at Motherwell?
Probably a lot of them. None of them would make the grade at Celtic.
Very good, very good.
Sorry, Dogsy, sorry.
Hibs Fan TV says, on the topic of Darren McGregor, if he doesn't start over Porteous in the final, I reckon we've lost already. That's an interesting take, see, as a lot of people are saying, I'll take this amount of million for Ryan Porteous, etc. I mean, I've never really seen the hype in Ryan Porteous.
Yeah, me either.
I mean,
he's a player, but he's not.
He's only being bigged up because he's a young-ish Scottish talent.
Yeah. And because he wound up Rangers at Easter Road.
Which is always a bonus point. Like that adds to your score.
I think he's only like 22 or something, so he's still quite young, but I'm not that impressed with him.
Jack Estop says Rangers will easily sell season tickets. Should expand to 56,000 by filling in the corners during the summer. Don't forget the corner that you papple the away fans into as well. So that's one corner gone.
But he makes a good point though about the corners at Ibrox, where the big trons are. I think that's one thing that Rangers should do is remove them and put in seats, because you could easily up the capacity.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Those big trons they're so out of date, I think now.
Yeah, I think the building on the outside as well.
Yeah, obviously outside the front on Edmundston Road, that's iconic, but around the rest of the building, I think it's something that could be worked on.
There's a wee plus for you, Stefan. You've been a great addition to the team, Stefan. Very, very knowledgeable, has a good view on the game across a wide range of topics.
I've been waiting for one of these nice comments to come in. Thank you very much, Graham Caldwell. Very much appreciated. Finally, someone recognising what I bring to pass the mic. Unlike a certain East Coast man that isn't on here tonight. Hey.
Honestly, we're all getting very sappy now just because we're going towards the end of the season.
I know. What's he said? Honestly, I would love to say thank you very much. It's been a wild journey for the viewers and the hosts, and after this season ends, I will be taking a break. Also, thank you for making me be a part. Okay, Joseph. Bye.
Well, thanks, Joseph. We appreciate you watching every stream religiously because
and becoming a part of the jokes. But we love it.
Yeah, I mean, without the viewers, where would we be realistically?
You've had your haircut, Gogsy.
I have had my haircut. Yes,
it's very nice. I had my haircut. Obviously, you can't see it, but if you do want to see it, my Instagram is at Mr. Stefan Carlin. Just saying. I like that wee plug I set up there.
Nice one. Di Stefano, the name brings back memories of seeing him play live at Hamden all those years ago. I mean, the real one. Well,
I mean, I am the real one, but I get what you're saying. There's another guy, Alfredo Di Stefano. Obviously, not a patch on me, but yeah, great player. Sadly, wasn't alive to see him play, but world class. What can you say? And look at me, world class. What can I say?
Yeah, and
And that's coming up for full time, Gogsy.
yeah, we're coming up to full time now. It's
3
been a
minutes.
blast.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think when Wraith got the goal, they should have chased more.
Yeah, definitely. They should have kept up the game.
They didn't, so they've sort of only got themselves to blame as well for the 3 goals they conceded the other night. I think it'll be a big ask for Dundee, to be honest, if they come up against Kilmarnock or Ross County. I really don't see them coming up. But we'll need to wait and see.
I mean, I've got more hope for Dundee if they play Ross County than if they play against Kilmarnock, because the threat of Kyle Lafferty alone, far too much. I would say. I think I would see Lafferty scoring a hat trick against Dundee.
I agree with that.
I reckon if Dundee come up, they will go straight back down again. Says Daz47.
Say that again. I didn't hear that.
Daz47 says, I reckon if Dundee come up, they will go straight back down.
Well, I said that about Hamilton in 2014, and then they bet Celtic at Celtic Park, so I know nothing.
I know nothing. Cheers, Robbie. Thanks for coming on and enjoying the stream. As we enter the final minute of additional time, and Dundee are on the counter here. This is the chance to kill the tie, and it's a great block, and it's going out for a throw-in, I think. But I think that's it, basically done. Osman Sow should have just
buried that.
He took too long in releasing the shot.
Yeah, I think he passed it as well.
Yeah. Indeed. But yeah, that I think it's safe to say that's full time. Dundee will be playing against one of Ross County or Kilmarnock in the final, which will be streamed on Thursday, then Monday, the following Monday after the Scottish Cup final. So if you do want to have a look at the socials, we've got all the graphics basically of the next week or so of what streams we'll be doing. I would like to thank Stefan, my co-host, for coming on this evening.
No, thank you, Gogsy. Thoroughly enjoyed it. That's a game over. It was nice to be on just me and you, and nice to have all the comments and everything. So no, thank you very much.
That's not a problem, mate. Final word on the game. I think Dundee were just there to just see out the game. I don't think they were that interested.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I think they saw RAITH Rovers go 1-0 up and weren't bothered by it, because I think they already knew they had a bit of arrogance about them, that they weren't going to come out and chase RAITH. They weren't going to try and get something. They were comfortable, and RAITH never really, tried to alter their position, and they allowed Dundee to remain comfortable. So yeah, listen, poor result when you think of it from RAITH, but they played well. But as I say, Dundee, they're coming up against a stark challenge now. Okay, Ross County and Kilmarnock, see which one it is. They might be the sort of worst of the lot, bar Hamilton, but it's still a massive chasm to sort of bridge to come up. So it'll be interesting.
Aye. Absolutely. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for coming on and watching us chat shite for 2 hours. And we'll be back tomorrow, Sunday, for the bottom 6 fixtures. We will see a decider of who will be playing Dundee and basically the final placings. I'm really looking forward to it, because it's the last time I'll be seeing Motherwell this season. But yes, anyway, guys, we'll see you later. Drive safely.
Drive safe.